Sky, shrink to your size and see a new world through your eyes. Now I return, only to learn it was the real world all the time. I try when I fly and see a new world through your eyes. I returned only to learn it was the real world all the time.
This is great! We just might have synthesized a new nanokid. There's the triple carbon bond, and there's the benzene ring. Yes! It's a new nanokid. Let's add this to the publication. Yes? You're on your way to fix the computer? Good. What to name you? The head configuration looks like it's wearing a graduation cap with a tassel. Nano student? Nano pupil? Nano scholar. Nano scholar. That's it. I dub thee Nano Scholar. Hi, you made it. There's a problem with the motherboard and I don't have time to deal with it. I have to be at a meeting in 5 minutes. Thanks.
I didn't hear you come in. Wow, they sure put your atoms together well. I've never seen a molecule quite like you. Fresh from the microwave, huh?
Hi, I'm Actix. Welcome to the Nanoloft.
Oh, sorry. I'm Marsky.
Not many nanokids find their way in here. What great luck. We could use another hand.
The nano what?
The Nanoloft. Probably the finest educational environment for talking molecules on this entire, transistor. Well, actually, this is where we hang out.
Hang out?
Yeah. When we found our way here, we just sort of sat around for a while.
But that was, more than a little boring. So one day we started playing around and discovered that we can tune into Dr. Tor's research and can communicate with him. It's amazing what we've discovered about ourselves.
We started watching, then we started experimenting. We were really making progress, but for some reason we lost power a little while ago.
Monomer, it looks like we're back in business.
Global! So, what are you doing? What is nano, anyway?
First, you have to understand one thing. You're small.
Actually, we're all small.
But you really don't get just how small we are. Let's put it this way. You're not so much vertically challenged as nanoscopic.
Well, at least I'm not microscopic.
This is true.
Well, nanoscopic happens to be 1,000 times smaller than microscopic.
Really? Oh, so this whole nano thing.
Yep, Nanokid.
Nano comes from the Greek word nanos, meaning dwarf, and is 1/1000th or 10 to the minus 9. We're 1/100000th the size of Dr. Tour.
Nanokids. Kids, but 1 billion times smaller.
Hey, I think you've got it. Atoms and molecules are our world. We see one atom, or maybe a few put together. Like Nanodog.
Nanodog is a single molecule. See the atoms in his structure? If you take one away, he will no longer be Nanodog.
What will he turn into?
He could be just a little different. Or completely different. It all hinges on which atoms are changed. His personality and looks depend on how his atoms go together.
What does that have to do with me?
We are single molecules. Our atoms determine what we are and how we act.
Yeah, take a look at these atoms.
So far, we figured out that the way something looks has to do with the way different atoms join together. But we're still trying to understand how it all works.
Plasmic.
We think so. Hey, do you remember where you were made?
Sure, the lab.
And you remember how you could see all those other nanokids floating around you and what their arms, legs, and heads look like?
Yeah?
They were exactly like you.
Well, oh small one, that tall guy couldn't see anything but fuzzy blobs. He was looking at billions of nanokids, and all he could see was a fuzzy blob of powder.
You mean we're invisible?
Not exactly. Not invisible, just not visible.
Are you saying we exist right before their eyes and they can't see us?
Some things are all a matter of your point of view.
Yes, you're my favorite molecule.
Hi, I'm Jim Tour, and these are some of my graduate students at Rice University.
Hi, how are you doing?
Hey, how's it going?
And we're synthesizing new nanomaterials and nanostructures. And you'll be learning more about the nanoscale in this exciting frontier through the Nanokids Lesson Adventure program. Now that's the color of the solution that we've been looking for. Good job. The last thing that I want to do is bore you with a bunch of technical stuff, but let me take you on a brief tour of what can be done through this exciting new science and engineering. One of the key concepts in nanotechnology is to build from the bottom up. Generally what we do is we build from the top down, where we might take a tree and cut it down and make a table or a chair. But in nanotechnology, what happens is much like what happens in nature, where molecules will come together to form larger structures called cells, and those then will assemble into larger structures and eventually the tree, the bottom-up fabrication. Using this technique, we could think of building devices like electronic devices that are ultra-small and ultra-fast, called nanoelectronics. Or we might think of using this for transmitting energy by electrons down a carbon nanotube for alternate energy sources, or using it in medicine to interact with the human body in ways that might be less toxic than what we use now. Or even having nano devices like nano cars that could just drive across a surface and deliver those small entities one at a time, exactly like what we want to do in bottom-up fabrication. And I invite you to come and discover with us the way you can participate in this new technology and make a difference.